Assalamu alaikum to Mr. Zain and all group members. It's very nice to address you, especially at a time when you have asked a very burning issue since 2 or 3 decades in the subcontinent, especially, which has nothing to do with there in the Iraq, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Arabic belt. What you have asked, let me repeat your question. Assalamu alaikum to all members. My salam and walaikum salam also to you as well as to all group members. Parvez uncle, मेरा एक सवाल, and whenever you feel like आप इसका reply दें. Others can also get involved, of course. अक्सर मजलिसों में और वीडियो क्लिप्स में हम सुनते रहते हैं that फ़ुक़हा और मराजे कराम की तक़लीद होती है और एन इमाम की बायत की जाती है. My question is that तक़लीद और बायत में by definition डिफरेंस क्या है? मराजे कराम की तक़लीद और इमाम में वक्त की बायत, इन दोनों बातों में डिफरेंस क्या है? Okay, this was the question. Now my reply is, in Arabic the bay'ah means selling and buying. It is a contract between the seller and a buyer. A seller sells the commodity citing the quality of product, durability, its feasibility, its application, its side effects, its ill effects, etc., etc. And the buyer, knowing all these terms and conditions, agreeing with him on memo of understanding, we can say, purchases the items. This is bay'ah. The word bay'ah in meaning of sale deed has been used in Quran Majid in Surah Al-Baqarah, that when you make a deed, you write it down and better have 2 witnesses. This is the only system of economics in Islam which says that when you make a deal, you do not just give the receipt or just do the deed, but it emphasizes to keep 2 witnesses also. So in the accounting department, in the accounts department, finance department, or in the today's world as chartered accountancy, the only system which holds for giving importance of witnesses even in issues of buying and selling is Islam Aziz. There is no such school. There is no economic system which says, maybe somebody may stipulate it for their safety, but as a rule it is not there. Whereas in Islam it is mustahab, optional, most liked one, most pleasing one to Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is bay'ah. Now, what is meant by bay'ah in Islam? Bay'ah in Islam means whether he is Rasul al-Azam, as we see that there are 2 bay'ahs, bay'at Rizwan and bay'ah with the Mu'minat, the ladies. There are terms and conditions that Rasul had put, and to those conditions which are all there in Quran Majid, I don't have to go in details since it will be my short clip. One can refer to Quran Majid. Okay. What happens in the Islamic leadership? Islamic leader says to his followers that if you follow me, I guarantee you that I will save you and deliver you to Jannah. Provided that what I guide you, you have to follow me diligently, focused. If you do not follow me, or if I do not discharge my duty towards delivering you for Jannah, if I'm not doing the duty, then I will be responsible. If you are not doing duty, then you will be responsible in breaching the contract. And this is how the leadership and the following is bilateral, as cited by Imam Ali in Nahjul Balagha. That is, both are responsible. One has to guide correctly, whereas the other has to follow the leader who is correct. We can say blindly, wholeheartedly, obediently, diligently, focused. Right. This is called bay'ah. Your second part of the question is that we do the taqleed of mujtahideen. So what is the difference between bay'ah and taqleed? Okay, let me tell you one thing. The difference between bay'ah and taqleed is, in bay'ah there is a sale deed with memo of understanding of the quality, the product you are getting. But in taqleed, you do the taqleed following of a leader of a scholar who is the best of all in our times. As you have for example, if you get sick in for cardiology or heart or brain or any other disease, God forbid, cancer, then you will consult in your friends, in your circle, in your family doctors. For example, in case of heart ailment, you will ask who is the best cardiologist in the city. You will not go to every cardiologist until you trust one. But when a majority of the people say that in the city, in the town, so and so is the best, the number one cardiologist, you have to go to him. Okay. Then we make counter checks, alternate checks to establish the information we have gotten is true or untrue. Possible. There is a possibility. So we do that consultation. Once we do the consultation, here we are free. We can go to any doctor. There is no binding. In the same way, when we choose for a leader or a mujtahid, we are free to choose whichever is best available. But once we choose a leader, once we choose a scholar, our leadership, our freedom gets stopped, paralyzed. For example, if you have selected one doctor and you go to his clinic and you give your complaint and he writes down a medicine, and then if you say that Dr. Sahab, I don't want to take this medicine, or if you say to take 10 mg, I will take 20 mg, then the doctor will say, my dear patient, the door of my clinic is open to you, please don't waste my time. Right? This is the same thing. In following a leader or following a mujtahid, after our choice is made for one particular expert, the door of our freedom closes. The door of freedom ceases. Right? Now, coming to the issue of Taqleed, of mujtahid, let me clarify you one thing very clearly, very boldly, that Taqleed of Imam is also done. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said to his Sahaba in his last days that, when he said that, Ya Rasul balli ma unzila ilayk fama ballaghta risalata, and do the following of the one leader which I am saying, as man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyun mawla, so he is the Imam. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has also said in his last days, before departing for giving us a sadful demise of his departure, that, O Muslims, you do Taqleed of Ali and Awlad Ali. Now, what is meant by Taqleed of Taqleed in Deen? So there is a marked difference between Taqleed of an Imam and Taqleed of a Mujtahid. The Taqleed of an Imam is done in both Usul or Aqaid or Furuat Deen. Because like Atiullah wa Atiur Rasuli wa Awlil Amri Minkum, we have to take entire Deen, all Usul, Aqaid, Furuat Deen, from first of all, at topmost of all, Allah Azza wa Jal. Right? Under Atiullah. Then after that, in matter of implementation, we have Hadith. We say Atiur Rasul. And after the sadful demise of Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, number one, to interpret the Qurani ayat and Ahadith Rasul in their most correct form and making them as binding by Imam, we have to follow the Imam also under Ulil Amri Minkum. So this is Ita'. So the same Ita' in Usul and Furu is called Taqleed of an Imam. Whereas the Taqleed of a Mujtahid is limited only to fiqh issues of Shariat Muqaddasa, jurisprudential issues, secondary issues. The reasons we will cite when we will discuss in details on this session in our series of lectures. Right now, for a short, I have to just only cite this. Now, there is a misunderstanding that there is no Taqleed in Akhbari school. In fact, in the Akhbari school also there is Taqleed. The term and clause that we hear in the subcontinent as the Akhbaris do Taqleed of only Imam and not of non-Masum Imam. Let me clarify you that the original classic Akhbari school of Bahrain, and those who are in Kuwait, if you ask those masters from whom it is said it is the seat and center of Akhbarism, they follow in Taqleed Mujtahid of among their society. So in Osooli and Akhbari school there are both Mujtahideen and Taqleed is done. In Akhbari school also there are Mujtahid. For example, in today's our reign, our period, the noted marja of Akhbaris in Bahrain is Sheikh Muhsin al-Asfur. We have this Sheikh Muhsin al-Asfur. Now, what is the difference between Taqleed in Usul and Taqleed in Akhbarism? In Akhbarism, the Taqleed is done ibtida'an of a dead mujtahid. For example, anyone who is born today and became, for example, one has become 15 years of age or a girl has become 9 years of age, then in the initial she can do the Taqleed of a dead mujtahid also. Like in Bahrain, there are many who do Taqleed of Sheikh Saduq, who died 380 Hijri, Sheikh Tusi, Sheikh Mufid, and like Yusuf al-Bahrani or Hashim al-Bahrani, Sahib Tafsir al-Burhan, their Taqleed is done. Also, people do the Taqleed of living mujtahid also. Whereas in Usuli position, ibtida'an, the initiating the Taqleed of a dead mujtahid is not permitted. You have to do the Taqleed of a living mujtahid. Of course, after his death, you can continue on a dead mujtahid. That is a different issue. The second difference is that in Akhbari school, the Taqleed is the Akhbari school, the ijtihad. Ijtihad means research. The research is done on the basis of the two sources which are Quran Majid and Hadith Sharif Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Aqwalul Aima, Hadith al-Aima alayhimus salam. Whereas in the Usuli position, there are four sources. They are Quran Majid, Hadith Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Aima alayhimus salam, and Ijma and Aql. Ijma is not the Ijma of like democracy of the people of the masses, because in the language of Bertrand Russell, the famous 20th century philosopher, democracy is counting of heads, not of brains. So Ijma in Islam is counting of brains. That is the Ijma of the experts of the fields, like ulama, fuqaha, mujtahideen, urafa, etc., etc. But only experts of the fields. Okay. So this is that Ijma. Then there is the application of Aql, because the application of Aql is that this is the first element which we are given as Hujjat-e Batini, because it is this Aql only that guides us, so and so is a Rasul, so and so is an Imam. Otherwise, who will guide us that who is the correct leader? So first we have the Hujjat-e Batini called Aql. Then we have the Hujjat-e Zahiri, which are Anbiya, Mursaleen, Rasul, Aima. These are all Hujjat-e Khariji, Hujjat-e Zahiri, and Hujjat-e Batini, the binding testimony inside us is Aql. The binding testimony outside us are Anbiya, Mursaleen, Rasul al-Azam and Ayman al-Salam. Okay, this is clear. So these are to know all these, we need the help of Aql, and based on our Aql we will be answered before Allah. And that is the reason for a sane, for a mad person, there won't be an accountability. And Maqamat al-Jannah, the stations in Jannah are also based on our understanding, our irfan, our knowledge. Because we also pray two rakat Salatul Fajr. Our Imam Masjid also prays 2 rakat. The Jummah prayer Imam also prays 2 rakat. The Imam of Kaaba also prays 2 rakat. The Sahaba used to pray 2 rakat. The Aimma and Rasul also used to pray Fajr 2 rakat. But can you say that the ajr wal sawab of all these 2 rakah prayerful persons are the same? The 2 rakah prayer which we are praying carries the same sawab as that of the Imam of Masjid or the Jumatul Namaz Salatul Jum'ah Imam, or the Sawab of Imam of Kaabatullah, or the Sawab of Sahaba Karam, Ahl Bayt Salam, Rasul Akram are the same? No. Every person's Jannah is different based on his level of intellect and irfan and marifah of knowing Allah Azza wa Jal. So there are Jannatan. Right? So this is the reason that one has to always pursue for going higher and higher level of Jannah in this world. For that, besides offering our salat or prayers, we have to improve our areas in knowledge, ilm, irfan, so as to pursue for higher and higher levels in Jannah. As Quran Majid says, فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. We have to compete for khair. But unfortunately, today's world has taught us for cutthroat competition. Islam says for a competition which is based on peace, reality of life, love, peace, friendship, fraternity. This is the application. So let me end up over here with these few. Those who are doubtful of whatever I have said about the Taqleed of in Akhbarism, they can contact me, and they can also refer the books on the Akhbari experts, scholars of Bahrain, Kuwait, and their founder Mullah Amin Astarabadi or Hashim Bahraini or Allama Majlisi or Shahid Salis or Ibrahim Jazairi or Ni'matullah Jazairi, sorry, not Ibrahim Jazairi, and Ni'matullah Jazairi, Yusuf Bahraini, Hashim Bahraini. There is a wonderful world they also have, so one can refer them. With this, let me conclude my reply to you and to my all brothers and sisters in this group. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.